What are your cruising plans for 2024? Have you got that somewhere special that you want to see or visit next year? My name's David and this is Cruise Control. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing my top cruising destination for 2023 and why you should give it a go if you haven't already done so. Okay, I'm not going to leave you guessing, so quick drum roll. My top cruising destination for 2023 was the Norwegian Fjords, and if you have never considered this destination, I think you need to stick around and find out why a fjords cruise needs to be on your must-do list. I'm going to jump in with my first reason why you need to book a Norwegian Fjords cruise, and that is they are fantastic value for money. You can sail to the fjords from the UK, so you don't have to worry about flights, especially if you are a UK-based cruiser. All the larger cruise lines sail from Southampton, but if you are happy to go with a smaller cruise line such as Fred Olsen or Ambassador Cruises, you can sail from one of the regional UK ports that support embarkation and disembarkations such as Liverpool, Newcastle, Rosyth and Tilbury. Now for cruisers in the north of the UK, this is really good news. You don't always have to travel all the way down south to Southampton if you don't want to. The larger cruise lines can also offer great deals to the fjords. We recently went with MSC and the basic Bella price for a balcony cabin was £855 per person for the week. But if you want to save even more money, you can get some great deals on inside cabins. And next year we have booked a week's cruise on Cunard's soon to launch Queen Anne, and we picked up the week's cruise on an inside cabin basis for £105 per person per night. This is without the drinks package, but still that's not a bad price per night on a cruise ship. My second reason why you need to consider a Norwegian Fjords cruise is, what about the weather? Isn't it always cold in Norway? Well, actually, depending on the time of year, you're actually going to be quite surprised. One of my misconceptions was that Norway is always windy, cold and rainy, and I envisaged having to pack waterproof jackets, walking boots and woolen jumpers. Now, this may be correct if you go in the wintertime to the fjords, and the fjords are beautiful in the wintertime, but in the summer, the weather can be glorious. We went this year in September, and although there were a few wet and windy mornings, the weather was generally lovely with some very, very warm days. My third reason for encouraging you to book a Norwegian Fjords cruise is because they're not boring. One of my misconceptions was, other than the great scenery, there isn't much else to do. Well, that was completely wrong. The fjords are packed with adventure, activities and cultural heritage. There is something for everyone, making the fjords a great family holiday destination. There are hundreds of places to visit in Norway, or especially around the fjords, but I'm just going to talk to you about two ports of call that I believe are emblematic of what you can get up to when you're on a fjords cruise. The first destination I want to talk to you about is Flarm. Flarm is a fantastic destination and is the starting point for quite a few excursions, ranging from railway journeys to coach excursions to fjords cruise and even rib boat and kayak excursions too. Now, unless you're tendering, your cruise ship is going to dock practically in the middle of the centre of the town near the tourist office and the railway station. At the tourist office, you can book a whole range of tours. The most popular are the Flarm Railway, the Fjord Cruise and the Staggerstein viewing platform. And there are also cultural activities such as a tour of the Viking working farm. On our recent cruise, we didn't manage to get on the Flarm Railway, and I'll tell you why. To save a bit of money, we were hoping to buy our tickets for the railway on the day at the railway station. However, it was sold out, and therefore we've made the decision that in future, when there are limited tickets, we're going to book something like that through the cruise ship excursion desk. We were hoping to save ourselves quite a bit of money by getting on and buying the tickets directly from the railway station, but it didn't pan out. Now, you can also pre-purchase your railway tickets through the tourist office online and not have to go through the ship. But the problem that runs is if the ship for whatever reason can't dock due to weather or operational reasons, or swaps port days around, that can throw or that can mess up your plans quite a bit. And that happened on our cruise. So Facebook was alit with everybody who had pre-purchased their tickets directly with the railway company beforehand, having to try and swap their days or get refunds. And some people had used companies that wouldn't refund them. So there were a few people who lost out on quite a bit of money, because those train tickets are nearly 40 to 50 pounds each, maybe even just a little bit more. However, all was not lost. Like I said, Flarm has loads of activities that you can choose from, and we decided to book the fjord cruise down the magnificent Arilands Fjord and also the narrow Neyer Fjord. Now, please excuse me if I have mispronounced the two fjords' names. The cruise was a 2-hour journey each way from Flarm to Gudvangen, and if you didn't fancy the 2-hour journey back on the cruiser, you could get off at Gudvangen and then catch a coach back, which takes about 40 minutes. We decided to book the return journey on the cruiser, and I'm so glad we did. The weather on the outward journey was misty and raining, which was beautiful in its own right, but on the way back the clouds lifted, the sun came out, and the fjords looked absolutely spectacular in the sunshine. A quick hint: if you are taking the fjord cruiser, make sure that you try one of their hot dogs with onions. They're absolutely delicious. A little expensive, but delicious nonetheless. The next destination I want to talk to you about is Olden, and specifically the Lowen Skylift, the skylift to the clouds. Now, Olden is a small town and is beautiful in its own right, especially if you want to have a walk around. But the one attraction I recommend you go see is the Lowen Skylift. It's a cable car that elevates you to above the clouds to the summit of Mount Hoven, and you climb 3,316 feet in 5 minutes. Now, you can access the lift by taking a bus from town, and you don't need to pre-purchase tickets from the cruise excursion desk. Hopefully I have given you a small flavour of what's on offer on a Norwegian Fjords cruise, but my favourite part of the day was in the evening during the sail away. As the ship would traverse the fjords back out to open water, the sun would start setting and the scenery would come to life. My top tip is to find a quiet little place with a drink, watch the sunset, and leave all your worries behind you. And as the sun goes down, the fjords and the mountains fade away, and it has to be one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Hopefully I've given you enough information in this short video to encourage you to book a Norwegian Fjords cruise. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Likes count. If you want to see more from me in future, please subscribe. And as a wise man once said, a YouTuber is only as good as the comments he or she receives. So please leave your comments. If you've enjoyed the fjords, tell me why. If you didn't, I also want to hear from you. Listen, I hope you seize the day, and maybe I'll see you on a Norwegian Fjords cruise sometime next year. See you later, guys.